And I just want to point something out. I can't just stop looking at it. Look at his mustache, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
I think you've started a new trend.
Not everybody can pull it off.
I mean, you're pulling it off.
I get a lot of compliments on the mustache.
Yeah.
But out of every 20 compliments, 19 are from men.
And here's the thing. If you get hit on by a man and women, you look damn good.
I agree.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to yet another amazing episode After School with the Lawson. I'm your host, the funny guy, Daniel Lawson, and you guys will not believe it. I do not have my wife with me tonight, which is great. I was super excited about that. But I have a much better looking individual, and his name is Dustin Blair, my cousin right here. And he was actually on episode number 3 with us.
Yeah, I was disappointed it wasn't number 1, but...
Hey, you got to start somewhere.
That's right.
So he was on episode 3 11 months ago, I found out. And so, yeah, glad to have you back.
Thank you. Good to be back.
You know, and what's crazy is we waited till episode, I don't know what episode this is, 30-something, and you live 30 seconds down the road.
One street over. It's strange.
But yeah, man, so for those of you who have not heard episode 3, it's a great episode. We talk about, you know, his childhood and him growing up, his current job being a firefighter and what are you?
X-ray tech.
X-ray tech.
Yeah.
It's a great episode, and if you guys want to go check that out, it is on episode 3. But we're just going to recap quickly a little bit about Dustin, and then we're going to just take off from there. So, Mr. Dustin, I hand the floor over to you, sir.
Like you said, man, been a firefighter here in the city of Bowling Green for 3+ years now. Been an X-ray tech for
long time,
12, 13, 14 years. Married for almost 10 years, 2 kids, 7 and 4.
And damn good looking.
Decent looking. Still the second best looking in the room here, but I'll take it.
Yeah, that chicken back there looks pretty good.
But man, just stay busy.
Yeah.
Stay busy. Working multiple jobs, getting kids to and fro. I'm a dance dad.
You dance. Learning something new every day.
It's so funny because a lot of times when I get that joke a lot, I'll be like, I got dance tonight at 6:00. And I mean it about my daughter. And they're like, oh, you doing some classes?
Yeah.
No, it's not for me, my daughter.
That's funny.
But just running her to and fro, it's a lot.
And Cooper is he's into dance a little bit too.
He loves to dance. The kid loves to dance. We try to put him in a class, but
he just does his own
he's
thing.
a free spirit. He's more of a freestyle dancer. He doesn't want to be told what to do, or he doesn't want to be choreographed. He just likes to do his own thing.
Did you ever do Did you do tap when you were? Something about me remembers you doing tap.
I don't know what. Was
it pageants?
No, I didn't do.
I thought you did tap.
No,
really.
Played the clarinet in middle school, but it's close enough.
That explains a lot. Oh, that's so funny.
No, that's
man.
I played sports, man. I don't know.
So, little family recap. What's been going on the past, 6 months? I mean, it's been 11 months since you've been on this show, but briefly between now and then, what's been going on family-wise? Have y'all taken any fun trips? Did anything crazy? Has the kids breaking any bones? Any cool stuff
Anything good like that? No broken bones. We did take a family trip to Disney. That was the kids' Christmas present.
Yeah.
Instead of, we decided that instead of doing a bunch of gifts for Christmas, we just want to start doing experiences. So we did a week trip to Disney a couple weeks before Christmas.
How old were they when they went to Disney?
So they're 7 and 4 now. We went to Disney for the first time 2 years ago, 5 and 2-ish. But it was during COVID, so you couldn't meet the characters.
Could you tell a huge difference from then to now?
Yeah. Crowd-wise was still busy as could be both times, but this time you really got the full experience of getting to meet the characters and This time you didn't have to wear masks. You had to wear masks last time indoors. So it was just
indoors.
You didn't have to wear it outdoors at the parks.
Golly.
It was just more full send, and kids had a blast.
Yeah. Did they behave for the most part?
For the most part, you get those long days. The good thing with it being in December, you didn't have to deal with the heat.
That is
the hottest day we had was like 72, 73, perfect weather. So you didn't get the irritable kids being hot, but there was no naps or anything. So it was just all day long.
Yeah. I feel like if we took Eli, it would be, I don't know, his attention span's a little short. So like, I don't know. I don't know how he would do all day, especially waiting in lines. I mean, we went to Holiday World and it was like, I wish I would have brought my tablet.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, and I don't want to say lucky. It sounds bad, but with Sawyer having diabetes, we get a disability pass. So we don't have to actually wait in lines.
Well, I'd be pretty covered then.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I wouldn't have to worry about anything.
It's nice. You just go, you check in, whatever ride, and they're just like, all right, come back in 30 minutes. They give you a time, and as soon as you come back at that time, you get to hop on the ride.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool, though, especially with like people with disabilities. I mean, even with Saul's diabetes, I mean, you just never know with that kind of stuff. It's kind of like a ticking time bomb. Absolutely. What type is she?
Type 1.
Type 1. So, but like even people with like, I don't know, no legs or something. I mean, I don't know what kind of rides you would go on, but that's, not the twist and twirl. but if you like are having crutches or a wheelchair or something, that's pretty good that they do that, because I don't know. I just feel like it would be a pain in the butt to stand in line and hobble on a crutch.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, Holiday World, those ramps and stuff going up.
Oh, some of these, and that's a good thing too, is if you do the lightning pass or the disability pass, the route you take to get onto the ride, it's almost like a direct path. You don't have to do all the winding ramps up and down and
so they've
going
got
through all this
and
that. So
it's cool.
Definitely a positive.
Yeah. Well, man, a little catching up about us. Layton just got over double pneumonia. So last episode, we thought she was kind of going back downhill, but she's kind of came back up, and she's getting better. She was starting to cough tonight. I don't know what that means, but Eli's coughing. Whitney had drainage, last week and early this week. So I just think it's that time of year where, I don't know, everybody gets sick. I feel like it's lingering longer this time.
Both kids had flu over Christmas break. Cooper's got strep throat right now. It's just COVID's going around hardcore again.
Yeah.
Flu's still kicking up. It's just, 'tis the season.
Yeah.
It's been a long season. This season's longer than normal.
That's true. I mean, we took Layton to the doctor 3 different times in 3 weeks. And on the 3rd time is when they found out she had pneumonia. She had to have an inhaler, liquid antibiotics. She got a yeast infection because of the strong antibiotics. She's raw, I mean, she busted her lip. You came and saved the day that day. I mean, she's really been through the ringer these past couple of days. Yesterday, while I was in the shower, I'm sitting there washing. She's like looking in going, ew, which I totally get it. But I totally understand, right? And, but I guess she pulled open like one of the drawers. And when she sneezed, she like hits the drawer on her lip, busted her lip again. I mean, the kid is accident prone. Like, we need to bubble wrap around her.
Dang.
I mean, she's 100% completely accident prone.
It's a tough few weeks.
Yeah. I feel sorry for the kid, to be honest with you. I mean, literally something every week is always happening. She falls, she gets hurt. But Coop was like that too, wasn't he?
Yeah, Coop did that a lot. He had a knack for, he would walk and like to look behind him. I guess a lot of kids do that when they're walking, and then all of a sudden, as soon as he's turning back around, there's something there, normally the corner of a table or something, or a doorway, and he would just pop.
Dude, Cadence was in, we were leaving Beach Bend, and that happened with her. And I mean, she was probably 9 or 10. I mean, she was well aware to look forward, She hit the post so hard, it just made like this, doom, like literally, like square on, middle of the forehead. She was turning this way talking, and as soon as she turned around, she hits this wooden post on the way out to the park. Hysterical. I got a kick out of it.
Have you done anything like that?
I don't think I've
recently, lately, your adult life.
I have hit a Walmart door and knocked it off track.
Nice.
it didn't slide open all the way, but not like turning around and then turn over and
Not where it just completely catches you off guard.
No, I would hate that. It'd be embarrassing.
It would. It happened to me. I was in college. I was going from one class to another or something. I was walking through a parking lot and I was looking on my cell phone. And I'm reading something, and next thing I know, I walk. What it was some long 2x4 sticking out of the back of a pickup truck, right at mouth height, and I was just, and my 2x4 hit me straight in the mouth. First thing I did was look around, see if anybody saw it happen.
Is that the truth?
And I didn't see anybody, and I walked on it. Yeah,
bust you up?
Bust me up pretty good. But
dang, did you have to go to the dentist?
No, it wasn't that bad, but it stunned me. It stunned me for a second.
Yeah, I mean, anything.
What the heck just happened, man?
2x4 to the lip any time of day.
Yeah,
it's gonna stun you.
Yeah, just the odds of that happening. I don't know.
Well, besides Leighton getting sick, we're filming weekly for the Daniel and Jordan podcast. It's going well. We got some funny skits coming out very soon. So what I think we're doing is we have a word of the week every week. It's dry humor, it's dry comedy, it's funny comedy, I feel like, and it is adult, it's more for adults and stuff. But I feel like the messages that we have within that, with the word of the week, we did judgment last week, and we kind of break judgment down, and we talk about judgment. And if you guys want to listen to that, go check it out. I think we're on episode 8 will air this Thursday. And that word is focus. Nice. So little teaser for you guys. Nice. I probably shouldn't have said that, but it is focus. And it's a daily battle. Like, I battle with focus. You could be focused too good on something, and then you could, absolutely. It could pull your main focus away from other things. So the messages within those podcasts themselves, extremely useful, benefit me. I use them throughout the week, and I try to do better on those. And I don't know. It's just us talking about those words really make you think, I guess, when the cameras are turned off, Yeah,
absolutely. Kind of recenters you, make you kind of reflect more.
Yeah.
On yourself. I do that sometimes, kind of a little different, but trying to teach the kids a lesson about something, and then I'm teaching them something, and I'm like, oh, I'm kind of the same thing I'm telling them not to do.
Yeah.
I'm doing the same thing. So just a lot of self-reflection. It makes you a good person.
Yeah, and I think we do that a lot. I do the same thing with my kids, and I may tell, what is it called? Like when you say you see someone smoking, but you smoke, and you're like, you shouldn't smoke. It's bad
Hypocrite.
for you. Yeah, there's a lot of hypocritical things that I tell my kids, but I know that I want my kids to do better than me. You know what I mean?
100%.
And, but I still think it's important you work on those things that you do bring up to your kids, because you're the example, right, at the end of the day. So, but yeah, so besides filming, with that podcast, just lots of work behind the scenes, man. Just staying busy and, trying to unplug one day a week and spend time with Whitney and the kids. And just solely that day is just putting everything aside.
You need that.
Just unplug and unwind and enjoy time, which sometimes we split it up. We'll do like an evening and like 2 evenings back to back. Instead of like a full 24 hours. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because some of the things that the way they fall and stuff like that. But for the most part, we are unplugging one day a week and trying to just bond and spend time together, because it is a busy life, but it's fun, but it can get too far out of the way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, I brought you on the show because, we were both picked on in school when we were younger, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I wasn't as good looking back then.
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell
by looking at us now.
I mean, you got thing 1 and thing 2 over here, and we're just great to look at.
We aging well.
Yeah,
aging very
like
well.
You for sure.
Compared to a lot. I bump into some people that I went to school with.
They're like, damn.
I'm thankful I didn't peak in high school.
Yeah, me too. Do you feel like you're getting sexier and sexier as the years come on?
I like to think so. My wife tells me I am. My mom thinks I'm aging well.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I think you look great.
I got a decent amount of gray going on, but
With gray comes wisdom.
Jamie loves that. So
I can't wait for the gray in my hair to come out more. Like, it's starting to come out on the sides. Is that where yours started first?
yeah, it's more noticeable on the sides, but it's thick.
Coming in now?
Yeah, it's coming in pretty.
Are you ever going to color it?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
No. I'm just worried how that would turn out. Just this freak.
It would probably look weird.
I've seen people do that. People you're around on a daily basis at like work, and then all of a sudden they come in one day and you're like, I can tell that's not, it just doesn't look natural, and I don't want that. Maybe if Jamie didn't like the gray.
It does look good.
Well, thank you.
And I just want to point something out. I can't just stop looking at it. Look at his mustache, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
It is not an upside down field goal. I can assure you right now, Jordan is jealous of that mustache.
Really? Not everybody can do this. Not everybody can pull it off.
I mean, you're pulling it off.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you've started a new trend. Jordan actually had to use Whitney's... the stuff that girls put on their eyelashes to make them like look a little bit thicker if they're dark. It's like a gel, a coloring gel.
Yeah.
We had to use his on the last episode to really make it pop.
Nice. I get a lot of compliments on the mustache.
Yeah.
But out of every 20 compliments, 19 are from men. Every now and then, 20 out of 20 is from men.
I'm gonna just be honest.
I greatly appreciate it.
And here's the thing. If you get hit on by a man and women, you look damn good.
I agree.
I mean,
Men respect the mustache. Sometimes I can't tell if they're being condescending, if they're joking, you'll walk past and guy will be like, nice stash.
Yeah, they're joking.
And I'm just like, thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Thanks for noticing. I'm just taking it as a compliment.
I kind of forget what you look like without the mustache.
Oh, bad. Real bad.
I didn't think so. But the mustache, I think it fits on you well, like, as you get older.
But you only saw me for a short time.
It was through that ugly stage.
Well, so we're going way back then, right? Because, I grew the mustache and the beard when I was probably 18, 19 years old. Right. And had that until I got hired at the fire department and had to shave the beard.
That's right.
Jamie had never seen me without the beard. Ever until I got hired at the fire department.
What was her? So did you tell her you were going to shave it, or did you just come out of the bathroom one day with a mustache?
She knew I was going to. I kind of worked on stages throughout a few different days. I took the beard away and kept like a whole mustache goatee deal. And then one day I took the goatee off, and she wasn't a fan. So I tell this story a lot, and I've probably told you, but once I shaved it all off. So first, once I took it from a beard to a mustache, she said, that is the creepiest thing I've ever seen. She said, you have to shave that off. That's terrible. So shaved the mustache off completely. She said, that's even worse. You have to grow the mustache back. So I grew it back.
That's awesome.
For her, but it looked terrible, honestly.
Well, I love it.
First time I had been clean shaven, and I don't even know how old I am now.
I just wanted
probably
to
20 years.
Put that out there. Bring it up.
Thank you.
Because I think a well-deserved mustache needs to be recognized.
I agree. Thank you.
Just like this beard.
Your beard. I was coming to it.
I was waiting for it.
I was about to say the same thing. I was going to reciprocate. That's a good beard.
But yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Story happened with Cadence, or not a story, but something happened with Cadence at school on Friday. I brought you on here because I want to talk about bullying and bullies and just, stuff about that. But so Cadence comes home and she wore something super cute. So I've been trying to get her to wear something different every day because she has a ton of clothes up there with tags on it.
Yep.
Different pairs of pants, but she loves the baggy clothes and the baggy pants. And so I got her to wear a nice form-fitting jean, a button-up shirt, like a plaid shirt, but like not red and black. It was like green and brown and white and cream. And it was like checkered. And it was a button up, and she wore jeans. Super cute. Looked super cute, and had Vans on. Well, I guess while she was at lunch, one of the boys told her that she looked like a boy. And she kind of just ignored it. And when she came home, you could tell she was upset. And she told me she didn't want to wear that anyways. She was like, it just looks weird, and And I was like, you don't look weird. You look you look beautiful. Like, this is what you should be wearing to school every day. And then, you know, when she goes, she's in lunch, and then one of the kids are like, oh, she looks like a boy today. And it's not, you know, of course, right then it's like, I made her wear this to school. But honestly, you know, Whitney, I sent her a picture. I was like, look at her. She looks beautiful. I mean, she looks so much older now. It's so weird. Like, within the past year and a half to 2 years, she has really aged.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, kind of she's going through puberty.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what happens. And, you know, with puberty comes the little stench. And we got to make sure she's putting on deodorant. So be ready for that, buddy. But she, you know, beautiful girl. And I was just kind of pissed whenever she comes home and says,
absolutely.
You know, I was ready to go to school. I was like, well, what you should have said was, I'm more of a man than you'll ever be. And sad thing is I'm a female.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she got a kick out of it. I was like, you got to think of these comebacks. You're not going to get in trouble. Say something, you know, piss them off.
I always think of the comeback 5 or 10 minutes too late.
Yeah.
When it's like, God, I should have said this. But
So
you can't say
I was like, so what did you say? And she just kind of ignored it. And I don't know if you know this, but 1 out of every 5 students in the United States is bullied while they're in school. You know, and I was one of those 5, and I think you were too.
Yes, definitely. I was a part of the statistics for sure.
And, you know, how did you kind of cope with that? Like, what were some of the things that you went through when you were younger?
Well, you know, I got bullied on multiple fronts. I was always small in school, a lot smaller than everybody else, really skinny. So I got made fun of a lot for that. Had a lot of hand-me-down clothes. So the clothes were bigger on me anyways. And then I was skinny. So then it just made me look even thinner. And we necessarily didn't have a whole lot of money growing up. So I wasn't wearing the nice fancy clothes or have the fancy shoes that everybody else was having or live in a fancy place. So it was a lot of jokes about that. I was not getting my hair cut as frequently as some other people, and I had comments made about that. It seemed like it was something every single day, honestly.
Yeah. Did you, like, was it during class? Was it in between classes? Was it in the lunchroom, the cafeteria, or the gym?
Oh, no holds barred, man.
Yeah.
Just wherever they could get to me.
Did you ever get, like, physically bullied at all?
No, nobody ever put their hands on me.
Yeah.
It was just always just verbal. And, you know, I don't know I think kids don't know the effect that their words are necessarily having on somebody. They think they're just cutting up and joking, but really it's, you know, it's tearing that person down. That person's going home and thinking about it,
right?
Crying about it. They may not realize that somebody else has said something to them that day, and it all just compounds. There are some kids out there that are just vicious, and just want to tear people down. But a lot of it, I think people maybe just think they're joking, but it's a lot more than that.
Yeah, I'm glad you said you weren't physically bullied. You were verbally bullied. And believe it or not, being verbally bullied, I should say, is the number one bullying that goes around. And it's like 79% I was looking at. And the next thing that falls into place is social media bullying.
Oh, man.
And just like you said, you know, you don't know the effects on that. And I'm very vulnerable on the podcast, you know, and there's been numerous times when I was younger that I was with friends and, you know, we would see somebody that looks different or, you know, just, and I was part of that. Like, I was never the one that would do it first.
Yeah.
You know, I was never the one that was like, oh, look at her, look at him, yada, yada, yada. I never did none of that. But I will say there was times where my friends were making fun of somebody or saw somebody and said something, and I would kind of join in or laugh. And looking back at that years later, being 33 years old, it's like I was a little dick, you know.
Yeah.
And I wish I could go back in time or if I you know, I don't know the exact day or scenario or what was said, but I know for a fact I was part of some form of bullying, whether I was laughing at the situation, because that's just feeding the fire, you know what I mean? But again, I wasn't the one that was like pointing fingers and being the first person. I would never do something like that.
Yeah, I was maybe being bullied some. I felt like I had a kind heart. This doesn't make it right, but I would definitely be a part of talking about somebody or the way they look, X, Y, or Z. But there's no part of me that would ever say it to your face.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I may say it in a group of friends.
Yeah.
But I just wasn't that guy I'm not going to tear you down to your face. I'll just do it behind your back. I guess, which doesn't make it the same way. Which, it doesn't make it right. Yeah. But, those people that can do that are just, they're different, man.
I'll tell you a time I was bullied. So when it was really rough for me going from 6th grade elementary school into 7th grade middle school, my parents were going through a divorce. I was old enough to understand what was going on. My grades were shitty, and I knew nobody in middle school. I mean, I knew like a couple of people that I lived next door to that I really wasn't good friends with, that probably because I wasn't cool enough, I didn't sit with them on the bus. I maybe had 1 or 2 people that I actually knew at Moss Middle School. But there was a time where I was sitting on the bleachers, and I know the guy's name, and I'll keep it discreet. I'm not going to say it on the podcast, but smacked me so hard in the back of my head, it like made it ding, like ding, like it really ringed. And I wish that I had, I don't know if it's self-confidence. I guess it is self-confidence now, or I just had something to stand up and turn around and just tell them what I thought. But I was so scared because I wasn't the biggest dude. I didn't have muscles, or I wasn't very tall either. Yeah. But not to just retaliate back to that person, but just to like, dude, grow up. Like, who are you? You know what I mean? Like, you're never going to be nothing. I'm going to just be real with you. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I could go back and just stand up for myself, stand up for others,
Correct.
If they were getting bullied. And believe it or not, also, I was reading that over half of the bullying stops when a peer intervenes and says something.
Yeah.
And that is nuts. And if that don't tell you something, if that doesn't tell you to tell your kids, like I tell Cadence all the time, if you see someone getting bullied, you better step in and say something about it. Because one, you're taller than everybody at Plano. But it's like, if you're not, even if you don't know this person, step in.
100%.
Because nine times out of 10, over half the bullying stops completely just because someone stands up and says something.
Yeah. I have a similar story. Middle school, I think, same thing happened to me. We moved a lot when I was growing up. So I went to 3 or 4 different elementary schools. I was never at one place long enough to really get a good group of friends going. 2 different middle schools, did go to the same high school. So it was just hard for me to stay with a group of friends because I kept moving schools quite often. But I think it was middle school in like an assembly, or maybe we went to the gym before school started, and I'm sitting on the bleachers by myself, and I guess there was a group of kids behind me, and what they had done is they had one of those big, huge, long rubber bands, and one of them stretched it out right behind my back while the other one pulled back and popped me right across my back, and it stung bad. Left a straight line across my back for like a day. And I just sit there and turn around, and they're sitting there snickering, and I just turn back around and just
teared up.
Like, yeah, it's like, man up. But I was the same way. I was small, no self-confidence whatsoever. So I just took it.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I should have just turned around. And that's my line now. I say, grow up, Peter Pan. I say that a lot now. I'm like, grow up, Peter Pan. Like, what's your problem?
Right.
Yeah.
So I've never been popped with a rubber band, but do you ever remember like people making those hornets?
Oh yeah.
Like, and shooting you with the paper?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, a guy behind me shot me dead in the neck, the back of my neck, bare skin, with one of those one time with a thumbtack on the end of it. Kids are ruthless, man. And I feel like it's getting worse now. Especially on social media.
Social media is, I couldn't imagine what I might have gone through if we had social media when I was in high school.
Exactly.
Which we had AOL. Later on in my high school days.
But you had to go home for that. It wasn't on a cell phone.
Yeah, I mean, all this Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, all that, and all this stuff where you can be anonymous and just find somebody that you don't like, and you're just tearing them down, and you can do it all anonymously. You couldn't do that back in my day. If you're going to tear somebody down, you at least had to man up and say it to their face. But
Yeah.
I like to think that we tell our kids the same thing. That's something that we will not tolerate. We will not tolerate you bullying anybody. If I find out you've bullied somebody, when you get home, it's going to be a bad day. Real bad day.
Yeah.
But same thing, we try to teach our kids. They're young. They're not. They don't really understand it yet. I don't think they're at the point they've been bullied yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the same thing. It's, we're teaching them because it happens early. Kids, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade are savages, man. They don't care.
I mean, if they're doing, early, and, they're getting scares that there's kids in the elementary school pregnant.
Yeah.
Bullying's going on.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's be for real.
Absolutely.
If they're old enough for that, they're old enough to say some bad words to people.
Yeah. A lot of it starts at home, how you're raised. I mean, I see some kids at daycare, like 4 years old at Cooper's daycare, that'll hit and throw stuff at you. And one kid kind of hit me. I was going through the door, and I turned around and said a little bit something to him. And he's almost 4 years old, trying to
buck up to you.
Yeah, it's like he just.
Did you get scared?
I was. Let's say I'm not about to get whooped by a 4-year-old, but
I will kick you across this little playpen, boy.
But it's just, you could just tell that he's just rough, and it probably starts at home, honestly.
Yeah, I think so. And I also think that being mean and meanness in general is a form of weakness.
I agree.
For that individual. It's almost like they're kind of insecure about their own self a lot of times.
That's the exact word I was going to use.
That they have to bring you down to make them kind of feel.
They have to be loud. Yeah. They have to be the center of attention. They have to be tearing people down, and it's all because they're just completely insecure. That's the exact word I was going to use. It's the stuff you remember, right?
Right.
Elementary school. I don't know. 3rd, 4th grade, maybe. It had been a while since I had a haircut. I could tell you the guy's name who said it.
Johnny, we got it for you, bro.
Started calling me Toupee Boy.
Toupee Boy.
Because they said my hair was so bushy, it looked like I had a toupee on top of my head.
Did you have a Afro? Kinda.
I don't even know what that is, to be honest with you. Couldn't tell you what that is. So
I'll have to show you when we get off the show here.
So yeah, it was just Toupee Boy for weeks. And I mean, that's just a memory that sticks out to me.
Yeah. What do you think some of the effects of bullying other kids or people in general, what kind of effect does that cause on someone long term?
Well, I mean, the ultimate effect obviously is, and it's unfortunate, but we've seen a lot even in this area of people who decide that it's just too much and commit suicide. Mm-hmm. We've seen it in middle school kids here. I think there's even been elementary school kids in this area. Definitely high school kids, that it just gets to a point where it's just so bad.
Yeah.
Obviously that's the worst case scenario. I feel like obviously you and I, it bothered me at the time, but I guess I got out of high school. I just wanted to do good for myself, and I didn't give a crap about that. And
as far as what, not caring what people say, or
I never let it. I don't think it ever really bothered me. I didn't like getting.
Well, I think you had your own group of friends too. You know what I mean?
I did.
You were popular amongst your group. Same for me.
It just wasn't it wasn't the popular group.
Yeah, exactly.
Correct.
So I felt, the people that I was cool with were not cool. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But I was cool within that group.
Correct.
I was cool with a bunch of ROTC people. Every single one of us got made fun of every day on Thursday when we wore our green suits.
Yeah,
100%. But, so I wasn't alone through high school, and I wasn't that odd kid. I knew that odd kid.
Yeah.
But I wasn't him. So I think that's where it doesn't affect me long term. And it's now it's that's why I say I wish I would have been able to go back in time to address the issue, or be dude, do you even know what you're doing right now? Do you know how stupid you sound?
And here's an interesting thing that happened to me, and this happened after high school, but there was a girl I went to high school with, that started cutting my hair. This is right after high school, just a year or two after high school. And one day we're having a conversation, and I'm talking to her about certain people that I wasn't in the clique with these people. They were rude, mean, and stuck up, and just that kind of a thing. And then this other girl is like, she's like, well, I'm not trying to be rude. She's like, but in my eyes, you were that person to us. So I guess maybe there was this hierarchy and I didn't even realize it. Like you had the it crowd, and then maybe I was somewhere in the middle, and I guess maybe there were people even below me. Like I thought I was down in the pits with everybody.
Right.
But apparently there was other people that saw me as different.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a humbling thing to make me self-reflect. I didn't realize that. I mean, I was getting bullied. I didn't realize that I was doing anything to anybody else that might have caused some of the same issues, but that's kind of really opened my eyes.
I want to elaborate what you said as far as after going out of school and entering the real world. I felt like I had to enter the real world at an early age. I mean, I started working when I was 14 years old.
Yeah, me as well.
And had to buy my first car, and pretty much had to work for everything that I had. And my parents could have easily bought me my first car, but they do those things, and we do those things to make you appreciate the things that you have. You have some skin in the game. And, I feel like it's important that we do teach our kids to work for certain things that they have and understand that a want isn't a need. And it's okay to say no to your kids. You know what I mean? And I don't even know where I was going with this, to be 100% honest with you, but it was going somewhere. Oh yeah. I wanted to elaborate on just not caring after I got out, because I guess I did have to grow up a lot earlier than most kids. One, my parents were going through a divorce and stuff like that, so I felt like I had to just man up a little bit. But at the same time, I wanted to do great. I mean, I had a great job, as a manager at Wendy's, and a lot of people's like, a manager at Wendy's, it's a career. You can make a career there,
100%.
Work your way up in the company, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year. That's a pretty good salary.
That's a good payday. It's not bad at all.
And I was blessed to be able to work my way up through that, but I guess I was focused more on doing the best I could for myself. And you as well. I mean, you had 2 or 3 jobs.
I had 3 jobs most of the time.
And he wasn't paying child support.
Yeah, I mean, I liked money. I liked being able to buy stuff I wanted, not owing.
Right.
So I would work never less than 2 jobs. Even now, I still have 2 jobs. Since I started working, I've never had less than 2 jobs. A lot of times 3. Even when I was going through college, I'd have 3 jobs.
Yeah.
Get out of class, go to class from like 8 to noon or 8 to 11, class from like 11 to 2, another job from 3 to 11 p.m., go home, do a little homework, sleep, right back at it the next day.
He's busy.
Stayed busy. I think that's it. I wish a lot of people in high school, the people that do end up doing that ultimate committing suicide or whatever, they can't see that there's an end to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
High school can be the greatest time of your life. It can be rough. But it's like if you can push through, none of the shit that you go through in high school matters once you get in the real world, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Like these people can't touch you. Like use that as motivation to do better. Rub it in people's faces. I mean, I'm doing a whole lot better than most of these people that were bullying me in high school, right?
Yeah.
You just got to use it as fuel.
Do you look back? So like a lot of the people that you went to high school with, like you can see them, do you conversate with anybody that you went to high school with at all?
Zero. Not on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Now I'll bump into a few people that I was, fine with in high school at the store. We'll talk for a few minutes to catch up. I have ended up working jobs with some people I graduated high school with and talked to them more in 1 or 2 days of working with them at this job than we talked in 4 years of high school. But I don't keep up with anybody from high school on a weekly or monthly basis. I can count them on one
hand, probably 3 fingers to be honest. I mean, Jordan's probably the only person I hang out with weekly. I mean, I call the dude like he's my wife. I mean, I talk to him every day, which is weird. But literally him, maybe one or two people I've talked to out of high school. And it's not that I think I'm too cool for them or anything like that. It's like, you know, I got a family, I got kids, I got a job, I'm hungry for success, and I ain't got time to be no bullshitting. You know what I'm saying? Like, 100%. I'm not out partying. I'm not out in the bars. Like, I want to be successful, which leads to what you were saying. You are capable of amazing things, you know, and you just have to hold yourself at that high standard and understand where you want to be and strive for it, you know, and know that you're the best. Yeah. And doing that, it's, you know, it's not cockiness, it's confidence, you know, it's like, and if you don't understand that you're the best at what you can be, you'll never understand your full potential.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%. This whole topic, bullying, I can't stand it. I hate that people are just so mean. I hate that it affects people in such a way, that just puts them at rock bottom. If you gave me 3 wishes, and I'm not just saying that because this is the episode, and I had no idea. Right. I had no idea we were talking about this until I got here. If I could do like 3 wishes, like world hunger, I'd get rid of. You know, bullying is up in that 3 because. Just the effects that it can have on somebody that you don't even realize it's causing them pain. It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, they say sticks and stones hurt, but words can kill. Like, you know, it's a true statement. And you know, I think it's important that we stress to our kids that it's not okay. And you may have been that bully, you know, and now you've grown up, kind of like myself. And understand that you was a little shit and you probably shouldn't have done some of those things. And like I said, I'm not the one throwing the first stone, and Lord, did I never say anything to somebody's face.
No,
it was always in the corner. But at the end of the day, I was part of a bullying at some point. I mean, I'm gonna be 100% honest.
I think we all are. I think that's human nature. When you're a kid, when you're a teenager, you pick at each other, I think you have your levels of it, right? You have your people that are evil, just assholes. They're looking to tear somebody down. Mm-hmm. But then you have somebody that's looking to fit into a crowd, and that's kind of where they fall into. And it's like, I just want to be accepted, and these people are tearing them down. But if I kind of get in with them and maybe I make a few jokes about this person, then I'm going to be in with this crowd.
Yeah.
That group of people have a great heart. They're kind of lost, just looking for. They're saying mean things to fit into this crowd, and that's not really who they are. So I think it's weird, but there's levels to bullying.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's where we fit in. Like I was
that mid-grade bully.
Yeah, I wasn't that premium.
Yeah.
But I think all kids do it to some degree.
Yeah. I'm sure.
But I couldn't grow up in this world right now. I couldn't imagine, honestly.
Yeah, especially like with as crazy as the internet is and how quick a picture can just go to millions of people.
Yeah.
Or a message can go to millions of people. You know, especially with TikTok, and you know, it's just not your friends talking about them. You throw up a video of somebody or whatever, which TikTok does a pretty good, you know, job about anti-bullying and stuff, but you also see some stuff on TikTok where you're like, what the heck is this doing on? I mean, I saw some crazy stuff on TikTok, and I'm just like, my video gets taken down for dressing like a 12-year-old girl, but you can see a woman topless. You know, it's
really wild what can get filtered, what can get taken down, what's still up there.
Yeah, it's nuts. But
it's really weird.
The way that social media is, it makes it scary for our kids, you know. And if you are one of those kids getting bullied, go talk to somebody. Like, find somebody that you're, comfortable talking to, whether it's a parent, maybe it's not a parent, maybe it's a counselor at school, maybe it's your homeroom teacher, you know, your best friend on the bus. Like, you've got to tell somebody, talk to somebody about it, find somebody, because it is crazy the effects that it has on people. And I don't want nothing to happen to you if you're one of those kids getting bullied. Like, you need to speak up, say something to somebody, because it's not right. Hey, call me, call me.
Yeah,
I'll show up. The awesome Lawson's bit. I'll wear my bow too. I don't care. I'll bring my bow and my guns, baby.
I guarantee you, this guy does not care what anybody says about him.
Not anymore. No. And, you grow up, like you said, once you get out of high school, you're not going to be worried about none of that shit. And nine times out of 10, the people that did talk about you or did bully you, those kids that bully me, they ain't nothing now.
Correct.
They're in jail, on the streets, on drugs, addicted to something. And I hate that for them at the end of the day, because some of that stuff probably wasn't their fault. It was their childhood, or maybe their parents were abusive to them and they go to school and take it out on other kids, and
that's
you never know, but you should know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
There is. It's really just a season. And it may be a longer season for some than others. But once you get past it, because I feel like I gained my confidence probably young 20s
when that mustache
came in, to where, if somebody tried saying stuff to me now, it's just like, I'm like
humoring.
Correct. It's comical now. I'm like, oh, tough guy. Like, right? Okay,
grow up, Peter Pan.
Yeah, grow up, Peter Pan. You make fun of it.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. It's just, but yeah, 15-year-old me, it probably, would hurt my feelings or whatever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But there is that light at the end of the tunnel, and you just got to push through. Find your niche, your group of people, your activities to get into.
Stay busy,
play sports, like being involved in team activities. Like, there's no greater bond than just feeling a part of a family or a team, and people caring for you as you are with like team activities, and probably with Cadence and her martial arts that she does. If you're having trouble, get involved in something like that, and just get around like-minded people who want to support you. Sawyer, my 7-year-old, in dance, I mean, that group, they love each other. They're constantly, great job, Sawyer. The teachers praise them all the time. They're hugging before they leave. Like, no matter what kind of a day she's had, like, she goes into dance ecstatic, comes out happy. Just get involved in something like that, man.
You said it right. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Surround yourself with positive people that'll build you up, not tear you down. And in doing that, it is mind changing. You could be having a bad day, but you get around those certain groups of people and it's like, damn, ain't nothing going on now, and that is the precedence that I set at work whenever I was a store manager. It's like, in here, I don't care what you got going on outside of work, but we're going to have fun.
Yeah.
We're going to dance and have a good time and sing and love each other. Like, we were always complimenting each other, Someone may have got mad that they had to remake a Ginger Bacon cheeseburger or something, but at the end of the day, like, I built my work to where, people that were struggling outside of work, whether they were living paycheck to paycheck or in some kind of abusive relationship, just had a shitty life outside of work. When they came to work, they had fun.
Yeah, it's an outlet. Yeah, absolutely.
We had people that would want to work extra, and those, something's going on at the house when that happens. It's like, dude, why do you want to stay here at work?
Correct.
9 times out of 10, there's something going on at home, whether it's a relationship or something's going on in their life where it's an escape. Their work is their safe place.
Yeah.
What would you say, before we end the show, like, what are some words of advice that you could give to someone that is getting bullied? As you looking back at yourself, like, what would be some advice you would give to the younger you back in the day?
We've hit on a lot of it, but I think first and foremost, stand up for yourself, right? Find that courage. Like you said, most of the time, a bully's only a bully until somebody stands up to him, right?
Which was mind blowing.
They're not used to that. Like, you get up in their face, you shut them down, and they cower. Don't get me wrong. Some of them you better be ready because you're going to find out probably. Yeah. But just stand up for yourself. There were so many situations that I wish I'd have just turned around and just let them know about it, let them know who I am, and not take it. That's first and foremost. But if it's really bad, find somebody to talk to. Talk to your parents, talk to a friend, talk to a teacher, just whoever, talk to a coach if you're a part of a team or something. Just find that outlet and get it out and start figuring out coping mechanisms or ways to get out of the situation. There's different levels. Is it one person bullying you or is it a whole group? If it's one person, there's so many solutions that we as adults can provide for younger people that they just can't see themselves. A lot of times it just gets so bad they don't see any way out of the situation. And it's like, man, if you'd have just talked to me, we could have done this, that. Right. Man, we could have made it so easy for you. Just talk to somebody. Don't let it, if you're hurting that bad, you gotta talk to somebody, anybody you trust. Nothing breaks my heart more than seeing a headline of a kid committing suicide due to bullying. Yeah, that's so preventable, and it's just mind blowing to me that we would push somebody. I say we as a human race, right. Would push somebody to the point that they feel like that's the only way for them to go forward. Yeah, or to escape the situation. Yeah, or to not deal with it anymore. Yeah, God, it's hard for me to wrap my head around that. Yeah. That we as humans can be that mean to people. Yeah. And bullying for some people, it doesn't stop in elementary school or middle school or high school. I mean, you could be 30 years old and being bullied. Find somebody, talk to somebody, especially on social media. That's the thing. You may have never been bullied a day in your life, and then it's all social media, right? Yeah. Like I would say keyboard warriors. 99% of adult bullying is all social media. Yeah. Like, I'm not walking through Walmart and some dude come over and just push me and start talking shit, right? Like, how dare you get 2% milk? Yeah, it's all about, people post something online and then people just start tearing them down because of it. And those same people, they're not going to say a word to you if they see you in person. I guarantee it. So don't entertain it. 100%. It's just, and I guess it's easy for us because that's what I would do. If I post a picture and some clown just starts, that's what I'm going to do first. Grow up, Peter Pan. That's my first thing back. And then it's just like, but some people, it goes back to, you can have 99 people say something positive to you, but one person says something negative, and that's all you can think about. Yeah. Right? That's all 100%. That resonates. 99 people can tell me my mustache is awesome, but if that one person is like, man, it looks like shit smeared across your lip, that's what I'm going to remember. That's what I'm going to remember. Yeah. And just some people take that to heart a lot more than me. I'll just laugh it off. But yeah, it's funny you say that, and I'm glad you did because it is. I've recently just went through that 4 days ago. With this podcast, Daniel and Jordan, they're like, "Do you think it's going to mess anything with your Awesome Lawson stuff?" I'm like, "No, I don't." Because it's a separate brand. Daniel Lawson is not involved with the Awesome Lawsons. I mean, Daniel Lawson's my name, but the brand is the Awesome Lawsons. The brand is based on Cadence, based on Eli, and it's all family-friendly content on YouTube. And this podcast here is directed towards young people and teens and adults. There's adults that listen, and it's a different brand. And Daniel and Jordan, it's its own brand. And I've had some close people, family that's like, "You think this is going to be an issue?" And I'm like, "No." And and I know for a fact it's not. I mean, my manager's like, "No, it's not." And then I get in a quiet room or I start to take a poop, and I'm like, "Is it going to be an issue?" Just because one or two people say something, I'm like, correct. Damn, and it's funny you said that because it's true. It just takes that one. That's all it takes. It's incredible. But I think, I don't know why we're like that, why we're wired like that. But just that one comment can just, the effect it can have on somebody. To me, I'm just wired different now. I'm just like, I don't, whatever, doesn't bother me. But there are other people who can't just let it go like that. And
it's the people that are close to me that is when it affects.
Yeah.
It could be Joe Schmo, who I don't know, is the one saying it, and I could give two shits. But
that's
if
a good point. It's a good point.
Someone who's close to me, my mom, my brother, my sister, my cousin, if it's one of those people that are like within arm's reach, to my heart, it's like that affects me more. It's weird.
Absolutely.
But like I said, if Joe Schmo says it, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't.
But it is how the body is wired and how we focus on that one thing. But yeah, don't bully people.
Bullying is not cool.
Yeah. Putting someone down will never build you up at the end of the day.
I wish I had something to follow that up with. Just keep going back and forth. Wish I had some cool saying to say after that. But
at the end of the day, if you're a bully and you're listening to this, grow up. And if you are one being bullied, you need to step up.
Yeah.
That was good.
Did you just make that up?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
No, but seriously, thanks for coming on the show and talking about bullying. And I'm glad you didn't know what we were talking about. I
had no idea. That was honestly, there was no discussion here prior to.
I like doing that with people that, obviously if I have like a super special guest on here, I kind of give them a rundown, but people like that are close to my family and within the family, I like to just pull them on because I know it's a certain situation. I knew you were bullied. I knew I was bullied and I wanted to talk about it. We haven't talked about it yet, which is strange,
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't ever tell Whitney what we're going to talk about. We just kind of go with it. I like that about it. And it comes off natural instead of being forced or fake. And, if you feel like you've caught something from this episode, send it to somebody. Text the little dots and share the episode on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter X or whatever the hell it's called nowadays. I don't know. Share it with somebody. Send it to somebody. Because you honestly don't know what this episode could do. It could save a life.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah. If you're having trouble with this particular bully, holler at Daniel. We will ride out wherever you're at. We'll show up, man.
Yeah. Email us, theawesomelawsonsbusiness@gmail.com.
Yeah, send us our info. We'll
send me their number. Send me a name. That's all I need, baby. Send me a name.
We'll put them on blast. Yeah.
But seriously, I hope you guys took something from today. Thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
From episode 3 to now, 11 months ago. So my plan is to pull you back in another 11.
So yeah, it'll be
go ahead, mark your calendar.
February of 25.
Yeah, and
right.
We will talk about something else. That's cool. Maybe sports bets and how you've
maybe by then
won. Something will happen.
I'll be living on a beach somewhere.
Yeah,
in a mansion just from sports betting.
And by then I'm still. Oh, this is only 11 months. I thought this was like 11 years. I'll still be dressed as a girl. It's okay.
Yeah, I guarantee
it's just going to get worse with Daniel and Jordan. I'm here to tell you, it's going to be great.
I want to get on one of those. It's
coming soon.
Yeah,
I've talked to Jordan. So I'll tell you our little sneak skit after this. But there's so much funny stuff over there, guys. And I'm telling you right now, it is very motivational and inspirational. I take stuff from it every week. Yes, it's adult humor. Yes, you might hear a bad word. Yes, you might see some funny stuff that two guys do. I'm married. I have kids. I love my wife. Okay. Jordan is my best friend. I think everybody needs one that is that close. I sleep in the same bed with the dude. I'd rub his feet if he wanted me to. Yeah. To be honest with you.
I have seen your all's relationship for, God, how long have y'all been friends? 15 plus years?
Yeah. It's been a long time.
I have seen every step of the way, and there has been many a times that I'm not quite sure what's going on there.
Yeah, my mom still wanted it.
But it's all...
Yeah, it's just fun and games. It's so weird how... We were talking about it the other day, and it's... I almost get teary-eyed when I'm talking to him, which even makes it more weird, right? It's like...
Yeah, I mean, well, you got that person in life, right? That's like-minded, get your humor, y'all just click.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it goes beyond a best friend. Like it's hard to explain if you have that connection with somebody.
It's weird.
It's a ride or die. Like, And you don't see that a whole lot. And not a lot of people get that in life. Mm-hmm. So to be able to have that, man, it's
cool to finish each other's sentences. Like, I know when he's going to stop talking, when I should start talking. And even the jokes, like, we just bounce back and forth, and it's weird. And I'm blessed for that. But if you guys do seriously get a chance, check out an episode. Each episode, the thumbnail is named that word of the week. So if you want to learn about focus, if you want to learn about judgment or trajectory or, all these other cool words, check it out, because you're going to laugh and you're going to learn at the end of the day.
You'll laugh. Guaranteed.
You're going to get to see some sexy dudes too. So
really attractive guys,
especially when you're on there.
I can't wait.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Don't forget to send this episode to somebody. We appreciate you. We love you. Dustin, thanks again for coming on the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys.
I love you.
Appreciate it.
And as always, stay awesome and stay sweet. We'll see you next time.